You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Good afternoon, Leah.
Hi. I thought you were about to say good morning, Vietnam.
No. Good morning, Vietnam.
Well, I'm Leah.
And I'm Brandon.
We are so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and/or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about The Strangers movie. I should have said the movie. Movie The Strangers. The Strangers, starring Liv Tyler, and we will also be trying out the brand Bewitched Chardonnay.
Yep. So we're going to do that really quick, and we'll be right back after a commercial break. I'm going to stop doing that. It's just stupid.
What?
After the commercial break. Whatever.
Well,
Okay.
I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at the fact that I just keep thinking that you got that mixer board thing off of Wish.
During when the ice storm, right?
I know.
Drunk and
Buying stuff.
Drink big bad Baptist, and then buying shit off of Wish.
But what's so funny about it is it's been like a good little board. And you
It's
got
been
off
a
of
great
Wish.
board, actually. Yeah, and I got off a Wish. But it works, so whatever. All right, so let's do this. I'm totally not prepared. I'm sorry.
You're like I was last week. Or the last time we did this, where you're like, you're not here at all. And I was like, no,
week.
I'm not.
That was last week.
No, it wasn't last week.
Did you already do the whole
I
boozy
did.
and bloody?
I did.
Okay, so we'll
Spacing
go
out.
straight into The Strangers. We watched this movie, and obviously we watched it.
Like last week.
It's a stupid shit. And then Bewitched Chardonnay from Russian River Valley. And I don't know if it's the same winery.
Oh, I thought Bewitched was the brand. Wow.
No, it's the wine. But it's from Russian River, and I'm not sure if it's the same one. Russian River is an actual, like, an area of California. But Russian River Brewing Company, I think, might be
Of course.
affiliated with, they started the winery first, and Russian River makes some amazing beers. I don't know if they're affiliated or not.
Can you get their beer here? Probably not.
No.
Of course not.
No, but they have a few beers called Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger. Amazing IPA.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That's Russian River.
Yeah.
So their family started with wine. Matter of fact, their beers that they barrel age in, they get from the winery. So, which I'm gonna feel really stupid if there's no affiliation whatsoever, because there is a Russian River winery too. There's a few. So I don't know if it's a winery river or whatever. My point is this.
They get the wine from the river.
Yeah. So what they do is
dumb.
they make wine and they get it out of the river and put it in bottles.
The look you just gave me was like, what
That's
the
what they
hell?
do,
That
though.
was so stupid.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into Bewitched Chardonnay. And we have not had this. And I'm going to tell you straight up, the label looks cool, but I'm not sure I'm going to like this.
I was just about to say, I am not into the label. Like, at all.
It's straight. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
It looks very Great Gatsby, but for a name like Bewitched, I wanted it to look like
Witch.
Halloweeny.
Witchy.
Yes, witchy.
Halloweeny. Let's
Yes.
see what the cork sounds like. Here it goes.
Ooh, that sounded good.
That's the knife. That's the knife one.
That was a good.
Okay, you want me to pour yours? You want to pour yours first?
Pour mine. You have it in your hand.
Can we hear it?
Yes.
Oh, we can hear that. That's high enough. And you think you want to go more?
You just gave me a Sally pour.
I'm putting mine in the mic. Let's see.
It smells good. I think it smells good. Oh my God. It sounds like pee.
It sounds like Ogre. Oh. It sounds like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds when he's peeing forever.
Oh my God. I feel like we talk about that entirely too much. I feel like we talk about that at least once a week.
Ogre?
That whole thing.
All right, so let's see. I mean, I want to pull up a description online. Should I?
Well, I mean, there's probably a description on the bottle.
Oh.
On the back.
Yep, there it is. You're right.
Like most things ever.
Shit. It's 2019, so it's 2 years old. Russian River Valley is a magic growing region. There it is in Sonoma County. That's California.
Oh, is that why it's called Bewitched?
That's California.
I know.
It is home to ancient redwood trees, fern forest, the Russian River, and remote vineyards. Most summer mornings and evenings, fig rolls in. I can't read this shit. Rolls in from the coast, snaking its way along the river and babbling over into the vineyards and cooling the temperature. Why are you looking at me like that?
That was a struggle.
I know. I'm not like.
You're not checked in today.
It's not working. But this creates it. You fucking read it here. You read it.
Where did you even leave off?
On the bottom part, like the last two sentences.
This creates an extended growing season perfect for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Bewitched small lot wines reflect the grace and wonder of where they're grown. Enjoy.
What's the ABV of this thing?
13.9%.
Oh, so it's almost 14%.
Well, I mean, aren't most wines?
No.
Oh.
No.
We don't really drink a whole lot of wine, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a good 11, 12% is typical. You got some but this is almost 14, so I'm getting the cork off of this.
I drank something.
Corkscrew.
Oh, it was that.
It was that.
That Bankhead Triple that I was telling you about the other day. That IPA. That was like pretty high. I think that was like almost 12%. Maybe it was almost 13%.
Triple IPAs. That's a new one for Bankhead?
I don't know if it's new, but they had it, and I tasted it.
I know they have a triple, Belgian triple. I didn't know they had a triple IPA.
It's a triple IPA.
That's new. What's it called? Do you remember?
No.
Either way, we go to Bankhead sometimes, and I haven't had that one yet. So let's look at it. So it's the color pea. It looks like pea. It does, doesn't it?
We are definitely not wine connoisseurs here.
It's so beautiful. It's the color of urine. It's like a golden pear color. Golden pear.
I mean, I feel like you're looking at me for like a reassurance.
I'm asking you what you.
No.
I'm asking you what you think the color is.
I mean,
some input here to help.
I think we both determined what it looks like.
Like yellow rosy ish.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for a sniff. Haven't done it in a while.
It kind of looks like ginger ale.
That's great. Has it done it? It does though. It kind of does.
Not carbonated.
We haven't done the sniff in a while.
I know. Oh my God.
Let's give it a sniff. Here we go.
So loud.
Ooh.
And your blue tongue.
Ooh, it smells good. It smells so nice. Smell it. I'm smelling grapes. I make myself laugh.
Did you drink before I got here?
No, I should have. I'm going to look it up.
Oh my gosh.
Bewitched wine.
Oh my
on
God.
Google. Bewitched Pinot. This Chardonnay.
I feel like you're having like a Leah moment today. Lots of laughing and lots of not being checked in.
I'm trying. Okay, there it is. Bewitched Chardonnay. Okay, Russian River. There's lots of stuff. Chardonnay. It's got some accolades. You're going to get some, okay, so oaky nose, oak, butter, vanilla, apple, pear, apricot, and then chard and hay. So I'm definitely getting apples. I haven't gotten to the, why are you laughing? I haven't gotten to the flavor of oak and butter and stuff. But I'm definitely smelling grapes.
I was about to say, are you for real? Like you keep saying that.
Let's go for a drink.
Oh my God.
You need to find something different to say besides, oh my God. Ooh.
Oh, so it's that good.
So I mean, it's a strong wine. I'm trying to find
The words.
No, I'm trying to find what
Tastes like popcorn.
it does.
Like buttered popcorn.
It does. I taste the oak and butter and vanilla, but it's so strong. Like 13.9% is a strong wine. I'll take another drink
had
of it.
one sip and you look defeated.
I want to have another.
Like completely.
That's the problem. Maybe that's not the problem. It's kind of good that we're not wine connoisseurs because we can give an unbiased.
Why do you keep laughing?
You just shook your head like, oh shit. Try. I'm gonna give it one more drink.
So
pungent.
I mean, is butter a good thing in wine? I feel like it's like with beer, and they're trying to be like, oh, we meant to put it in there, but really it means you
butter and beer
it.
Butter and beer is diacetyl, which is an off flavor. In wine, I think, and I don't know, I think small hints of it in certain styles is acceptable. This is. What's
I don't
the
think this
rating
is
of
a hint. I think this is like a freaking punch in the face.
This gets a 3.6 out of 5.
Well, maybe because it tastes like buttered popcorn.
I'm gonna try to give it another taste real quick. Let me see.
It's pretty. Ooh. Not everyone's a winner, people. Not everybody is a winner.
It gets 88 points out of 100 on Wine Mag.
Wine Mag,
like magazine.
Oh.
The second taste wasn't as bad, but I'll tell you, I'm not seeking this out.
I don't think it's like bad. It's like the aftertaste is bad. The initial taste isn't too bad. The aftertaste is like I'm sitting in a movie theater eating popcorn.
But you're stuck on the whole butter thing, aren't you?
I can't get over it. That's pretty much all I taste.
You don't taste the fruits or anything?
I do kind of initially, but I can't get past the butter thing because that's what I taste overwhelmingly.
Well, actually, for being a 13.9%,
it's smooth.
It is smooth. You don't get the burning alcohol. Mm-mm. That's not there, so that's good.
This is actually not dry at all for a Chardonnay. Every Chardonnay we ever drink is like always like super dry.
It's got a little bit of some tannins in there, but you're right. It's not overly dry. It's not really that dry at all.
No. Which, I mean, I like, but since we are not wine drinkers, that may be a bad thing. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
For a Chardonnay, I don't know if people that like Chardonnays seek out a dry one, but if you don't, this isn't.
Yeah, if you like dry Chardonnay, this is not your thing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I can't.
I would put in the classifications as like it gets the job done because it's on the higher alcohol side too. I
don't like the bottle. I know I just said that, but I don't like the bottle. I don't like the label. I feel like it's so not. It does not fit the name. Like Bewitched, you think it's going to be like, in a black bottle with like.
So they have a black label one, but it's not the 2019. They have, but we got the white label one. Well,
I looked all over. I couldn't find anything other than that one.
Man, I'm just not digging it. I want to
drink
it some more.
Not the worst I've had, but obviously not the best either since Brandon just made that noise.
Man. Okay, I will say this. This would be awesome with cheese. Like cheese and maybe some fruit or
it would be good
sharp
with
cheese.
Like no. Mm-hmm. Those little cheese those little cheese cubes that have like blueberries in them?
Yeah.
Oh, like with that.
So this could be cool with the right stuff. But I don't know, drinking just by itself.
Good meat tray.
I don't know about the meat tray. Cheese tray, yes. Fruit tray, yeah, maybe.
Oh, so not a charcuterie board, just cheese only?
I think so. That's my uncontroversial expert, uneducated opinion on this wine.
I think I would drink this if I had to.
Yeah.
I would not drink it.
It's just,
but
I don't know.
Like you said, I wouldn't go seek it out. But I'm kind of disappointed because we've had this for like a few weeks. I bought this and we were going to do it on the last one we did.
And we ended up doing the seltzer, right?
3 weeks ago, yeah. So I am disappointed with it because I was excited about it, but...
So on the notes here, you have the rosé as well. Are we doing the double shot or just that one?
I mean, we can.
Let's just do one.
I just forgot to take it off.
Let's just do one.
I forgot to take the rosé off from the last podcast we were going to do.
Okay. Why are these in black?
Because, okay, last time when we did the descent, I was getting so confused because everything was so close together in small print. I had to make everything big, far apart, and bold.
Anybody that's wondering what I'm talking about, like on the paper, it's highlighted black. So it's black, white on black, but white paper. So it'll work. I turn the page, I'm like, what the hell is that?
It just made sense to me this morning.
Okay. Well, I mean, it works.
But I was tired this morning when I did this. Okay, so anyway, I think now it's... I'm going to start crying. I think.
Did you just snort? Did you?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
I think now it's kind of obvious that we're transitioning into the...
We're trying to transition over to this.
The movie portion of this.
So this is The Strangers in 2008.
Yes. Which seems like so long ago, but not at the same time.
It was a while back ago. It was a few years. So who's the director? Look at this. Rotten Scores. Rotten Tomatoes give it a score of 48%.
I know. And the audience score was 48% too. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Oh my God. I can't please you at all.
This movie was...
No. I will not agree.
It's like the wine. It goes together.
No, it does not.
This
movie was good.
Okay. I just remember watching it and you're like freaked out and there's parts you jumped and I'm looking at you like, what are you doing? Why did you just jump?
It's scary. Well, because I always think of that time that you were... not at home or something, and I was watching that by myself alone in your room.
That's what you watched by yourself alone?
Yes, and I had never seen it before, and my sister and my mom had always told me that it was like really scary, and I'd never watched it, and it was on Netflix one night. Like, this was a long time ago, and it was on Netflix, and so I turned it on, and I was like sweating. Like, my hands and my feet were sweating so bad.
You were this time too.
Yeah, it's scary. I don't understand how you don't think this is scary. And you know what? The only reason I picked this out is because the last one we did, you said that you wanted to watch a realistic scary movie. This is more realistic than The Green Inferno.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I never knew Liv Tyler played in a scary movie. That threw me off immediately. Remember I said, like, Liv Tyler, she's in this?
I think that's like the only thing that she's been in that's scary. I don't know that much about. I know
she did
3
a pretty
movies
good job
that she has been in, or 4. She was in Lord of the Rings, and she was in that movie that you like that I can't stand.
Back to the Future? No, she was not.
No, not Back to the Future. What is that movie about that band?
Oh, The Thing You Do.
Oh, I hate
great
that movie.
I
think that's
great flick. Love it.
That right there tells you that you have no room to
judge. It's a good movie.
This movie. And then she's in The Hulk.
I haven't seen that
Edward Norton.
Yeah, not my thing.
The only reason I ever watched that was because Braden was into The Hulk when he was a kid. And then this movie. Other than that, I have no idea what else she's been in.
Well,
anyway, instead of this being about Liv Tyler, so
you have the gist of this is a young couple staying in an isolated vacation home are terrorized by 3 unknown assailants.
Yes.
So, but the movie starts off with them driving in a car to this home. He's wearing a tuxedo, right?
She's wearing like a maid of honor dress.
And they're pissed off at each other about something. It's known that they're pissed off at each other. They're not talking.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes flashbacks every now and then to like they're at a wedding or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought that he had proposed to her or was going to. I
mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious what's happened.
But we didn't know what it was yet because he hadn't presented a ring or anything. We just know that they're pissed off about something.
Yes.
They got into a fight. Who knows at this point? And they're driving to this house that apparently had been
It's his parents' summer house.
Yes. So they're driving to this summer house, pissed off, not talking to each other. Some flashbacks about a wedding, but you still don't know. Oh, you okay?
Yes.
But you still don't know like why they got into a fight. It's just kind of weird. At first you're thinking they just got into a fight. They're gonna go back to the house. Honestly, what I thought, they're gonna go back to the house. They're probably gonna drink. They're gonna have sex, and then make up. That's what I thought the movie was gonna be about.
You thought the entire movie was going to be about that.
That's the start.
Even though it was a scary movie.
I'm sure there was going to be some stuff that happened. Oh, and then before that part started, it was talking about showing two kids called 911 as their conversation to 911 about there's blood everywhere. So obviously somebody's getting killed somewhere in this movie.
Yes.
They're fighting, so immediately you're thinking maybe he's going to kill her.
Or she's going to kill him, or whatever.
There was some kind of a mind fuck immediately in there in this movie.
Some kind of domestic violence.
Yep.
But so Liv Tyler in this movie, her name is Kristen, and her I guess it's her boyfriend because it's not really her fiance since she turned him down.
She said no.
But his name is James, and they go back to his parents' summer house, which looks like it's like in the middle of fucking East Texas. Looks like it's in like Palestine.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
Every time I see that movie, I think that. But like you said, they go back to the house. There's like this awkward, I think what I really like about this movie is how genuine the interactions seem. So how it just seemed like it would be that awkward.
Seemed like a real movie fight, but really this time.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like it was just, it was just so awkward. Like I feel like that's kind of how it would be if something like that were to happen. Like if you said no to somebody, it would just be this like really awkward, tense weirdness. And I think they portrayed that really well because she was really upset, but they were also not really talking to each other while also kind of still trying to be nice to each other.
Yeah, they weren't being complete dicks to each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, So they drive back to the house. They get out of the car, get in. Well, he had already prearranged to have things like flowers on the floor.
Yeah.
Expecting her to say yes.
And I think that's what made it so... I think that made it even more awkward. So not just that you said no, but now we have to go back to this house.
And stuck,
That all of this like romantic shit is everywhere.
And he was trying to pick up stuff like before she saw it, like the flower petals on the floor. He was trying to pick it up, but she already saw it. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
He was in the bathtub. She's going to take a bath. Well, she did end up taking a bath anyway, right? They got there. She's like, I'm going to take a bath. Was that before the first thud on the door? Okay, yeah, I guess that was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was.
So they got there. She's like, I don't take a bath. I think it might make me feel better. She goes in the bath. They see all the petals. He tries to pick all the petals up, whatever.
And then he like sits down and starts eating like a whole fucking gallon of ice cream. I'm like,
yeah.
Why is that what you're going to be eating?
Well, he's depressed.
That's not a guy thing, though.
It's kind of not, but whatever.
And then, you know what really bothered me the most about this? They left that gallon of ice cream out the entire fucking movie. Like, he didn't just, like, put it up.
That seriously bothered you?
That bothered me so bad. Because I was like, you're ruining, like, they showed the shot of the ice cream, and it was, like, full. And it's like, you just ruined an entire freaking gallon of ice cream.
Well,
all you had to do was put the lid on and put it up.
Well, after she took her bath, she came out and started eating the ice cream with him.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. They were starting to kind of like, I don't even know what you would call that. It wasn't really like making up, but it was more like we're breaking up.
I didn't even get the breaking up part. I got I know you're disappointed at me. I know you're mad at me, but we're still going to sit here and eat ice cream together.
Well, he was going to leave though. Remember?
Yeah.
So to me, that's why it was like, oh, well, we're going to break up because he had called his friend and was like, I'm going to leave her here. She's going to have my car. I need you to come get me just because I can't be around her right now.
Yeah. He was like, dude, I know you're drunk right now, so come get me in the morning. Mm-hmm. Yep. So she eats ice cream, and then what do they do? They start at this point. Did they start drinking or something?
No, they weren't drinking. They started to start to have sex. Nothing had happened.
Right. So it was, on the counter, right? Pants were down.
Yeah, yes. And then you just hear that loud ass knock.
No, yeah, she knocks, and he's pulling his pants up. He gets to the door, and there's a woman standing there. What does she say? She's like, "Is somebody here?"
It's Tamara here. But how she says it is so creepy, and the fact that like their little.
Did she say it like that?
No. She's just like
that.
Is Tamara here? And they were like, no,
you're
at the wrong house.
And it was like 3:00 in the morning, right?
It was like 4 a.m. And I was like, motherfucker, I don't answer the door at noon. Like, I'm not
much less
about to answer the door
a.m.
at 4 a.m. I'd just be like, hell no, leave.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even like act like I was home.
Yep. Didn't she just say okay, or she just walked off or something like that?
Yeah, she like stood there for a second, and they were all staring at each other like, I mean, are you gonna leave? We just told you that she's not here.
Here's my other thing.
What?
It was 4 a.m, right? Force. All this shit happened before the sun came up. Like,
I know.
Not that much time.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Because, I mean, I can realistically see this happening if it was like at noon, or not at noon, at midnight.
Yeah.
But
4 a.m, and the sun's breaking through at 6:30. Come on.
And I mean,
ish.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there too. But yeah, she runs off and you're like, ooh, that was creepy as shit. And then
yeah, that.
The lamp thing outside, the porch lamp, it wasn't on. Like the light bulb had came undone or something. And so when she goes off, he like twists it back up and he's like, oh, the light works or whatever. So they go back inside and they were like, well, that was weird. And he was like, well, I think I'm going to go, to the gas station or whatever, drive around or something.
She wanted cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was going to smoke a cigarette. She was out. And he's like, well, I'm going to go for a drive anyway. I'll just get you some cigarettes while I'm out.
Yeah.
So he leaves and she's there. And automatically you're thinking, immediately this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, the door's unlocked.
Of course
again.
you did, because you know everything.
Right.
Sometimes you're the worst person to watch a movie with, because you know like everything that's about to happen every single time.
There's better.
And you always say it.
It keeps falling. My pop guard keeps falling. Screw it. There it is.
But you'll say something. I look over at you like, you've just ruined the entire movie. Like, we might as well not even watch it.
Because sometimes it's obvious like this. We knew. Okay, so he leaves. He goes to get her some cigarettes and it's for a little drive. And that's when he's on the phone with his friend or his voicemail. I need you to come pick me up in the morning. I know you're drunk. Da, 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 da.
And so she goes to change.
Yep. And then
into her I work at Home Depot outfit.
Whatever. There was a couple of knocks after. And this time, the first time, it sounded like a rock hit the door. And then she bang, bang.
Yeah.
And it was really quiet. And then she didn't do it again. Bang, bang.
Well, she goes. Bang. Well, remember, she had plugged in her phone. She had plugged in her phone because she was trying to get a hold of somebody, and like while she was kind of freaking out, and because she went up to the.
I'm trying to drink this.
Damn, are you okay?
I'm trying to drink this wine, and it's just.
I know.
I'm trying to enjoy it, and it's not working.
But she had went up to the door and didn't open it, and it was just like, hey. She was like, is Tamara there? And she was like, you already came by here. Like, bitch, leave. She was so polite about it, though. Like, I would have been like, get the fuck out of here.
No, you wouldn't. You'd been scared.
I would have been scared, but I would have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
But first of all, if you tried to leave me somewhere after something like that happened the first time, I would be like, I'm coming with you.
Depends on how much.
I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
Depends on how bad you want cigarettes and how bad you want to be alone.
Well, I don't smoke.
Maybe she wanted to be alone.
Well, whatever. I'd be like, I don't care. We can go somewhere. We can go sit at a restaurant across the restaurant from each other.
Oh, yeah. And then when she was smoking, she noticed the smoke alarm kept beeping or something like that before, I think... Was it before he left or after? It was after he left.
Yeah, so she had went up to the door, and then that scared her. So she went to try to plug in her phone, and then something happened, and the smoke alarm started going off, and so she was like, "Oh shit!" So she like goes up and she's like trying to get it down or turn it off or whatever, and it like completely comes off, and she puts it, I think, on the ground.
Floor. Yeah, because the door knocked again.
Yeah. And
while she was up in the air.
But she kept hearing all these noises, and it really freaked her out. So she grabs a knife. Or you know what? before all that happened, remember she was in the kitchen and she was getting a glass of water, and then that guy's like in the house and you see him.
No, that wasn't this part. That was later.
I think it was before that.
No, I don't think that. I think it was after the smoke alarm went off. The door knocked again. She was standing up on a chair, and then she put it on the floor. She walked to the door again. Nobody was there. Then she walked to the kitchen to get a glass of water.
Okay,
and then you could see in the background there's a guy standing inside the house.
You're right.
That part was kind of creepy.
Yeah, that really freaked me out. That was probably one of the scariest parts to me is when that happened. Because, I mean, there's so many times that you're just standing in your house, like, like you stand with your back to a doorway, and I mean...
I don't have my back to anything open. Rarely.
Are you serious?
I will stand against a wall.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I probably would too. But you know, like...
In that situation...
If you're in your own home...
That's not her own home. They're in a vacation home.
Well, his.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. My back is against something.
Well, anyway... That's what she said.
I don't give a damn.
Well, anyway, and so she's in the kitchen drinking water, and he's like just standing there for like kind of a long time too. And like you see him like a little bit at first, and all you see really is his like mask thing. But then like the further she goes into the kitchen, that was so gross. The further that she goes into the kitchen, like the more he steps out of that entryway, and that's like where the front door is, right?
Yeah.
And then then the camera turns to her, and you only see her in the kitchen from the other way. And then it turns back around, and he's gone.
And doesn't the door knock again at this point?
No. So she goes back, I think, into the living room, and like all that smoke is happening in the chimney. Oh,
the flute for the chimney, yeah, it was shut. That's what turned the smoke alarm on. It had been closed.
And so she was like, dude, what the fuck? Well, she turns around, and that smoke alarm is sitting on a chair.
The chair that she was trying to take it off with.
Yes, yeah. And she knew she didn't put it there. Mm-hmm. So at this point, she was like, what the fuck? Like, somebody's in here. But she doesn't ever say anything. She's just like really freaked out, scared. And so she grabs a knife out of the kitchen drawer and calls her boyfriend, because it seems like at this point, like probably 30 minutes have gone by at least, and he's still not back. Maybe like an hour.
Well, they're in the middle of nowhere.
I know, but I mean...
At 4 a.m, where do you go get cigarettes? You know what I mean?
Well, true.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, you're right. So, anyway, so she calls him, and she tells him what happened, and he was like, well, did you open the door? And she's like, no, I didn't open the door or whatever. And she's like, I'm scared. And then she's like, stay on the phone with me. Well, then the phone goes dead, because she had called him off of the house phone. Mm-hmm. Because she couldn't find her phone. It had like been taken off the charger, and she didn't know where it was. And so then all that banging starts happening. Remember, as soon as the phone goes dead, all this banging starts happening around the house. Really scares her, because it's happening at the front door, and it sounds like somebody has like a freaking battering ram to the door. And
but after this, the noise happens in the back door. Right?
Yes, like I don't even know if it was the back door. I think it was like their bedroom window. Because she opens up these curtains, and that guy is like right there. Ugh. I would have lost it. I would have like absolutely pissed my pants and started crying. Seriously.
Both at the same time?
Yes, probably. Huh. And I don't think you understand how bad this whole thing freaks me out. Like, my hands sweat just talking about it. I'm serious. It's just like, that's like not a really scary thing to think about to you. Like, you're at home. And like you're in the middle of if nobody was around. I don't
dwell on these things.
Oh my God, I think about that kind of stuff all the time. Like my parents have that land down in East Texas, and I always think, what if something happened? Like you have to travel so far to get to somebody. Like if somebody was outside your house trying to kill you.
Exactly. It's been 30 minutes trying to get cigarettes.
You'd be dead. You'd be dead.
Either way. She notices the smoke alarms on the chair, right? And that's when the noise. She also notices her cell phone's gone.
Yes.
So at this point, smoke alarms on the chair, cell phone's gone, noise at the back.
Yes, and she opens that window, and that guy's there, and so she freaks
she gets
the
a knife
fuck out.
At this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
She freaks out, and so she closes the windows and everything, goes to the door and locks it, and then barricades herself in that bedroom.
Like she falls into the floor in the hallway.
Yes, and she barricades herself in that bedroom, and then you just keep hearing that knocking, and it's like happening everywhere, and then it just stops. You know? And so she hears somebody come into the house, and she's like, oh shit, this is them. Well, then it's him. It's her boyfriend.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say, because at that point, I thought she sees a woman before the boyfriend comes in. No? Does she see the woman in that baby face or that baby mask, whatever that mask is? A doll?
No. So that didn't happen until he came back.
Okay.
Because remember, she's like, oh, there's people here. They're trying to scare me or whatever. They're here to get us or something.
Well, at first, it was just the guy, right? The guy that was scaring her. The guy that was scaring them, or whoever it is, the person. But before he came in, there was a female that showed her face with the doll face or whatever it is.
The brunette one?
The blonde. Yeah. So she sees her, and that's when she's like, there's people here, not just one person. Oh, yeah. There's more than one person here.
And so when he comes in, she's telling him all that, really scared, and he's like, dude, there's nobody here. And I told you, what are you doing?
I'm reading.
Oh, my God.
Are you okay? It's 13.9% wine.
No, because you're making me laugh. I've only had like 3 sips of it.
Me too.
But
and
anyway,
I don't think I'm going to drink anymore.
And so, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And so he's like, well, you're crazy. There's nobody here. I don't know why you think that. I would get so freaking mad if all of that had happened to me and somebody was like, oh, you're just making that up. I'd be like,
yeah, you're crazy.
Tilt my head crooked and be like, bitch, are you serious? Why would I make this up? I'd be pissed. And I don't even know.
Okay.
I'd probably try to leave. Well, anyway. And
well, after she explains what happened.
Yeah, they go outside.
He goes outside to the car to get his phone.
Tries to.
And his car is jacked, right?
Yes.
It's smashed up, tires slashed.
And you even made the comment, like, how did they not hear that?
They bashed it out pretty bad.
Like, everything.
And his phone's gone.
Yeah.
So they fucked the car up, his phone's gone, and isn't there somebody standing at the end of the driveway, like far out there, just staring at him?
Yes, it's that girl, that blonde girl.
So she's standing there staring at him, and he runs towards her, right? But doesn't she run off to the side?
Well, he's walking toward her like, hey, what do you want? And then he's like, well, do you want money or whatever? Well, she runs off or walks off or wherever she goes. And he's like thinking, oh, well, that's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. So he goes back in the house.
Yeah, letting her know that, like, there's find somewhere to hide type thing. Like,
yes. But, well, they tried to leave before that. So he's telling her, like, just, get whatever you need to bring. We're leaving.
He goes back in the house. I thought he goes back in the house and starts looking for guns. Like, he's like, my dad keeps stuff here. He keeps stuff there. He starts going for ammo and guns anywhere in the house, right?
But that didn't happen until they tried to leave. Because remember, they got in the car.
Oh, yeah. They tried to leave the car. So he was like, get your shit. Whatever you want to take. We're leaving. Get in the car. So they get in the car and they're starting to back out. And then the third person is introduced into it. The third little murderer. It's a truck, right? Comes in the truck.
Yes, it's a woman, and she has like I don't even know what you would call it. It's I guess like a doll mask kind of thing, and she's brunette, and she just freaking rams them, like rear ends them hard.
Rams the back of his car, backs up, rams it again, backs up, rams it again, like 3 times.
Yeah, and then she like drives off. Well, then they look in front of them, and that guy's standing there in front of the car, and then they like. I don't know. I guess he like disappears or something. So he's like, dude, get in the house. So they go back into the house, and that's when they start looking for guns. And I think they find like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, they found a couple of guns and some loose ammo that his dad kept at the house for whatever.
All I thought was so funny is it's a shotgun. And he's like, I know he has bullets. Bitch, they're not bullets. Okay, they're shells.
Do you really care at this point? Like,
no, but he said that, and I was like. That's okay.
He's got a shotgun. There's some fucking bullets somewhere. And you're like, really?
Yeah.
But they're fearing for their life. You're worried about details of bullets versus shells.
I mean,
I'm sure she was like, dude, seriously, it's shells. We're about to die, but seriously, come on.
I mean, I would probably tell you that.
So they found guns, and they're going back, and they barricade themselves in the bathroom or something, right? Like, something with a door open.
It's like a closet or something.
Something with a door open where... anything that walks by, they might see it and shoot it.
Yeah. It's like a storage closet. Well, so they're sitting there freaking out, just waiting on somebody to come into the house. Well, they cut to outside, and his friend who he had called, which was probably like, what, not even an hour before this, to come pick him up.
Yeah.
Because all of this shit has happened within probably like an hour somehow. Yeah, these killers do not play. They are here to get shit done and not hang around very long.
Yeah.
And
so 4 a.m. to 4:15, all this has happened.
But they show his friend, and his friend is Mike, and he pulls up in his car, and he's leaving James a voicemail. Like, hey, I'm here. I got your message. Well, while he's in the middle of the voicemail, something hits his car. Like, it was like a rock or something. Remember, they like bashed out his one of his windows.
Yeah.
And so he's like, what the fuck? And he gets out of the car, and he's walking toward their house, and he knew immediately something was wrong because he saw their car, and it was like all smashed up. So he starts to go into the house, and the door was open. So he's wandering around through the house, like, and this is another thing that I told you at the time. Why would you go into somebody's house and not be like, hey, so-and-so, it's me. You're going into your friend's house.
Maybe he was trying to be quiet because he knew something was wrong. He wasn't trying to alarm anybody that was doing something bad. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know, but I mean, whatever. So he's walking through the house, and you see that stop doing that. You see that guy. Well, I don't even know what you would call him, like the masked stranger, the masked stranger guy with the axe. And you see him getting pretty close behind him, and you're like,
he's walking behind him as Mike's walking through the house trying to find out where they're at. Yeah.
And
Mike doesn't know, obviously.
Crap, like that guy's gonna kill him.
And there's one time he stops and turns around, and the masked guy like moves or something where he couldn't see him.
Oh, I didn't even notice
that. And then he turned back around and started walking again.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
And that's when they walk by the door, and boom.
Yeah, so James ends up shooting him because he thinks that his friend Mike was the killer, the stranger guy.
Shot him in the face, too.
Yes. And so they're like, he's like, well, he wasn't wearing a mask. And she's like, what? And he's like, he wasn't wearing a mask. Like, you said that this was a masked person and everything. And so he's like, I'm going to go see what it was. And so he starts like crawling out of the room, and he's like, oh,
it's Mike.
God.
It's Mike. And she's freaking out. Well, she starts crying. They're both standing there or sitting there crying. And that's why he's like, fuck it. I'm done. So he gets up and he's like,
they go try to get to he initially tries to go get to that radio that's out in their barn.
In the barn in the back. Pretty far back in the barn.
Yes.
In the back.
And
of the barn.
Obviously.
Back of the barn.
Obviously, because this is a scary movie, he gets caught, and you don't see him for a little bit, and it kind of just focuses on her for a little while, probably for like 15 minutes or so. And so you think, oh, like he's dead, so like she's gonna find him somewhere, she's gonna find him in the barn dead or something. And
so now she's walking through the hallway.
Yes.
And at this point isn't somebody standing in the living room, like staring at the fireplace or something like that?
No. That was at the very end. So she ends up like making her way outside because, you know what? She was waiting.
We're doing a great job.
I know. But she was waiting by that door for him to get back. Remember, she was sitting down, and you see from inside that guy is approaching that door.
She walked up to the back porch, and then she walked over and put her back towards the wall on the back porch, and she sat down.
I just think this whole entire thing is crazy because there's some parts where I'm like, I totally understand why they're so scared, but then there's parts like this, and it's like, okay, you know somebody's gotten into the house, you know somebody's outside, and you're just sitting outside on your butt on the porch. What are you doing?
What would you do?
Not that. I don't know, but not that. And so she ends up getting up, and she ends up getting up, and she's gotten chased by, I think, one of the girls, because there's two girls and there's a guy, and she ends up tripping and hurting herself. Like, almost like she had gotten caught in like an animal trap of some sort. Remember
Did it snap her leg?
I don't think it snapped her leg, but she had gotten caught up in something like that, and it hurt her leg. And so then she starts crawling everywhere, and she crawls to the barn, and oh my God, this whole entire thing was just painful to watch. I'm like, I would try to get up and do something. Like, I wouldn't just be crawling everywhere. So she makes her way to the barn, and she's trying to get that radio thing figured out. And when somebody finally answers, then that other doll-faced girl has a
jumps
bat,
up,
and she freaking smashes the radio. And so she's like,
yeah, while she's talking on the radio, the masked lady kind of stands up.
Yeah.
You know she's going to do something at this point, but then she kind of stands up and walks towards her, and then, yeah, like you said, smashes the radio with the bat, breaks the radio.
Another thing that I thought was kind of scary about this movie is the fact that there were so many times that they could have just killed them.
It's like they were stringing them along as a game.
Them
yeah.
To make it worse. And so that happens, and she like freaks out, obviously, gets out of the barn, and starts crawling.
Crawling back to the house. Like,
I know. I'm like, dude, they could have totally gotten you.
Well, when she was crawling back to the house, she turned around and saw them like talking to each other, or
yeah, so
something like that.
Yeah, so she's crawling back. Well, she stops behind this like piece of farm equipment, and she's like hiding. It's like, you think that they don't know where you're at? Like, come on. I mean, seriously. And
but yet it's so realistic,
Yes. Well, she ends up it is real. I mean, it is realistic. But she ends up getting back to the house. Is that my phone?
That's my phone. Somebody's calling us while we're doing a podcast.
You're so popular. And so she ends up getting back to the house, and oh my God.
Sorry. Go ahead.
She gets back to the house, and she ends up in that closet. The
same closet that they were hiding in the first time?
No, I think it's like a kitchen. It's like in the kitchen or something. It's like one of those shaded closets where like it's almost like blinds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And she was watching them, or watching that guy
it's a pantry.
Like, look for her. It's a pantry.
Yeah, it's a pantry with shutter doors.
Okay, I didn't realize it was a pantry.
Yeah.
But which sounds stupid. It was a kitchen closet.
Yeah, it was a pantry, and she could see them.
Fine moment. Yeah.
But as she's watching there, and she's standing in the pantry, she's watching. She sees the guy walk through.
Like
he doesn't see
times.
her, so to speak. He doesn't see her.
I mean, he knew.
He looks at something. What does he look at?
He keeps looking. I mean, he's going like around the living room.
Didn't he stop sit at the table?
Yes.
And then he got back up and walked off.
No, I don't think he sat at the table.
Oh no.
Well, anyway,
I feel like I just watched this movie, and I feel like I remember so much, and I forgot so much at the same time.
Well, there's a lot of small stuff. It's almost like it's very similar to me to The Descent, because they're in one location and they go back several times to different places in the house. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and so he's walking around looking for her. You see him go into the living room, a little bit into the kitchen, and he briefly looks at the closet, but then he like walks the other direction, like. And I think he knew that she was in there. Well, so you see him go, and so she's like kind of leaning forward because she was scooted back in the closet like, I don't want him to see me. Well, then when he walks out of the room, she leans forward into the blinds to see a little bit better out, and then that blonde girl comes.
Yeah, straight
right
there.
in front of the closet.
And
like,
she screams.
Yeah, bitch. Well, I mean, there's people there trying to kill you.
You're
Will you
hiding.
Scream?
Just like, don't scream. Maybe she
knew she was in there.
You don't know that. I mean, then she started destroying the door and trying to get to her, and then she suddenly just stops.
And she
leaves.
And she gets out of the closet.
But that person that was trying to get her stopped, and they walked off. So that's how she was trying to get out of the closet. She got out and walked out of the closet.
Oh, I don't remember that. I thought it was like all one thing. She ends up getting her out of the closet, and then she's like screwing around with her like with a knife, like oh, I'm gonna stab you, and she's like twirling the knife and stuff on the counter.
Is that what happened?
Oh my gosh!
I thought she got out. I don't
remember like any of this.
I thought she got out because she destroyed the door or whatever, and that's when she opened the door, and that's when the lady was just standing there, or she was sitting at the table or something like that. Somebody was sitting at the damn table. Who was sitting at the table?
I don't remember that at all.
Damn. I think the guy did though.
I don't remember that at all.
Am I getting two movies mixed up?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I thought it was.
This is probably the booziest one we've had.
Boozy, the one that we haven't drank that much of. Oh, that's terrible.
I know, but it's like clouding our memory for some reason.
Oof.
And so anyway, she's like, don't stab me or whatever. Well, then she starts to run off, and then that guy gets a hold of her and starts like, he like hits her in the head and knocks her out and then drags her.
Oh yeah, she's in the hallway.
Down the hallway. And she like kind of came to a little bit, but she's still like out of it, and so she can't really get away from him. She's
trying to hold on to the dead friend a little bit, but not much, because she was still out of it a little bit.
But it goes black, and then
that's when she wakes up tied to a chair.
Yes, right next to
her boyfriend.
Him.
Yeah, so they're both alive.
Yes. So you haven't seen him for probably 15, 20 minutes at this point. And you're like, oh my God, he's alive. But he's so at this point in the movie, up. Like he already has
at this point in the movie, it's probably 4:30 in the morning.
Dude, it seriously looks like it's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I think at this point, the sun's starting to come up, right?
It's already up. Like it's daytime.
Okay.
And yeah, you go from it being totally, completely dark outside to it being like, we've been up for hours. Like I've probably been at work for like 2 hours at this point.
I always think it was probably like 7:30 in the morning.
Well, I mean, it's late enough that it's like, okay, it went from totally dark to now it's completely light. Like, what were y'all doing? Watching TV between now and then?
You know what they were doing. Nasty people.
And so they wake up and she's realized like he's still alive, and she's kind of happy to see him, but at the same time she's scared.
Well, yeah, because they're both sitting there tied to a chair,
and they're all three just standing in front of them.
Yep, and they're trying to talk to each other, and that's when you give a back shot of these three people standing there looking at them,
and they take their mask
off one at a time, right?
Yes. And I both like and dislike that they did that, because the title's The Stranger, so you want to,
but they're still strangers.
Yes, but I would have liked for there to have remained like some kind of anonymity to it, like you don't totally know who this could be. But then I did like the fact that they showed their faces, because it's like, dude, who the fuck are these people? Like, you don't see them at all in this movie.
And they did ask, they said, why are you doing this to us? And they said, because you answered the door.
Or no, you were at home.
You were at home? That's it. Oh, okay.
You were, because you were home.
Yeah,
and that is so scary to me, and it gives me chills every time I watch that movie when they say that, because I'm like, that's terrifying.
And so they get that same knife and they kill Mike. They slowly stab into his who?
James.
Who's Mike? The friend? Okay.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God. You got to find some other stuff to say.
I know, but I just say it all the time because of everything you say. It's just very,
what do I say?
Just everything you say is, oh my God.
Whatever.
So anyway,
so they got the knife to Mike, and they.
What was that?
James.
Your freaking vein popped out of your head.
They slowly slid into his stomach like a very painful.
Did you feel like they weren't realistic in their portrayal of how bad that would have hurt?
How do you act that much pain?
I mean, if somebody is sticking a huge basically a huge kitchen knife, like a Michael Myers knife, all the way into you, I think I would scream. They were just like, oh. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, it hurts a little more than that.
Well, so James falls over, right?
Yeah, because they take turns stabbing him. So the guy stabs him, and then the blonde girl stabs him, and the brunette stabs him, or whatever order it was in.
So did she only get one person stab her, or did they all stab her too? They only showed one.
I don't think that they showed really her death. They showed, like, you see that they're about to stab her, or they at least show one of the stabs, but then it pans out to, like, the neighborhood and the house and everything, and all you hear is her screaming.
Well, they show one person slowly putting it in her stomach.
Okay, so that's all you see then.
Yes.
Because then after that, all you hear is her scream, and then, like, it goes silent. And then the next thing that happens is you see them. You don't see them leave the house. You just see them driving down the road, and they're passing those kids that you saw at the beginning of the movie. Those, like, little...
Yeah, like the Mormon kids.
Bible kids. Jehovah's Witness kids. Or whatever they are. And you see them pass by. They stop the car
and ask them about whatever, or
they ask for their little.
It's called a tract.
What is that?
It's a little piece of paper that talks about Bible stuff.
Oh, I thought it was just a pamphlet.
Yeah, same thing.
Or brochure.
Same thing.
Welcome to Mormon.
Same.
whatever that thing is. And they stop and ask for it, and they give it to him, and the kid goes, "Are you a sinner?" And she said, "Sometimes." And then they just get in the car and drive off, and then the next thing you see is the kids find those people. And I just think
and that goes back to the very beginning of the movie when they're calling 911. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah, so they walk in the house, and they're probably like, "Oh shit," but whatever the
that's what they said.
Religious equivalent is of that. Oh no. And
holy smokes.
They lean down to, I guess, like see if they're alive or something still, and she just, Liv Tyler, like grabs the kid's arm and like screams. So I don't even know if she lived or not.
She didn't grab the kid's arm and scream.
Yes, she did.
She was dead. She didn't move.
Yes, she did. And you know what?
Are you sure?
I'm positive. You can watch it. We can watch it again.
I'm good.
I'm positive that happened, though. But you know that there's actually a sequel to this?
No, I don't.
The sequel, I think, is better and worse at the same time.
Better and worse.
Joan from Mad Men is in it. I love her. But, I mean, I don't know. You don't like this movie?
It was okay. It's just...
I think we need to find a really, really bad one and watch it. One that I even think is terrible and watch it.
Why?
Because...
Is that the charm of the whole thing?
Yes. Like some like really D movie.
Oh, man.
But that's it. That was The Strangers.
I feel like we didn't do a good job portraying the weirdness of this movie as it was.
I don't think it's weird at all. I think it's I think if something like this actually did happen, that it was very realistic for what would happen. You know, kind of like the Green Inferno. Like, it's probably not going to happen, but if it were to happen, it would be like that.
Yeah. Okay.
In a sense.
I agree. I agree with you.
So
that's a wrap.
Yes, that was The Strangers paired with Bewitched Chardonnay. Please like and subscribe. Follow our Instagram, Booze and Bloodshed, and let us know what you think about tonight's episode. Feel free to send us suggestions for future episodes, and keep an eye out for the next show's topics up for discussion on our Instagram.
And where's that at? Instagram is at Booze and Bloodshed.
Booze and Bloodshed, yes.
And also, our email address is
boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this.
Yeah, so actually, I've already decided the next topic that we're doing. It's going to be Albert Fish, and he is a child serial killer.
Albert Fish.
I have not decided on you have not decided on our alcohol yet, so.
It's not going to be this wine.
No. But, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We'll
that
see
wraps
y'all
up
later.
this podcast. Booze and Bloodshed. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Just